Did you know that over 50% of retirees end up retiring earlier than they planned? And here's the shocking part. See, most of them, they didn't choose to retire. Whether it was unexpected layoffs, health issues, or company downsizing, these factors forced them out of work before they were financially or mentally ready. And now with recession fears looming in our economy, millions of workers over the age of 50 are wondering, what happens if I lose my job before I'm ready to retire? Well, today we're diving deep into the financial risks of an unplanned retirement and, more importantly, how you can protect yourself. If we haven't met yet, I'm Johnathan Rankin. I'm the founder and CEO of Theorem Wealth Management. We're a retirement planning firm that focuses on helping people plan and execute their retirement goals, and I've been doing this for going on 20 years now. And so make sure you hit that subscribe button, because every Monday and Friday we put out a new retirement video on topics to help you just make sure that you're planning and executing your retirement. But every single Wednesday we put out a case study just like this, where we go through specific scenarios that might resonate with you. So dive in, because today I'd like to introduce you to Harold. He and his wife, Cheryl, they reached out a while ago because they had some major changes that happened in their life and they needed some help. We made sure to change their names to maintain privacy, but this situation is extremely common and it's important that we share it. You see, at 57 years old, Harold had no plans to retire anytime soon. You see, for decades, he had been a senior project manager in the engineering industry, earning $150,000 a year. His career had been stable, his 401k was growing, and his retirement date was 5 years away at 62. He was dead set, I'm retiring at 62 years old. And then in a single phone call, everything changed. His company was downsizing, and after 27 years with the company, he was let go. There was no warning, there's no transition plan, just a severance package and a thank you for your service. See, Harold was 57 years old, unemployed, and staring down a terrifying question: what now? At first, Harold panicked. He had always assumed that he would retire on his own terms, not be forced out of the workforce before he was ready. He spent the first few months applying for jobs, reaching out to contacts, updating his LinkedIn, and even considering taking a pay cut just to get back into the industry. But rejection after rejection made it clear that the job market wasn't kind to older workers. So the younger competition was willing to work for less money, and the employers were hesitant to hire someone who might only work for a few more years before retiring anyway. See, by month 6, reality finally hit. He may never work a full-time job again. And the realization was devastating, because Harold had always defined himself by his career, and suddenly that identity was just gone. It was stripped away. So for 2 years, they had to dip into their savings until he finally found a new job that he wasn't making as much as he did before, but he was happy for the stability that it brought. And the real question is, how did it impact their initial retirement plans? So let's go through the numbers as if this was happening right now to Harold. All right, so when we dive into their plan, we're still going to plan for Harold retiring at 62. So when we look at just their baseline analysis and going back to what their net worth is, they've got $35,000 in an emergency fund. They've got a brokerage account of a little over $182,000. They've got a 401k that's a little over $1.1 million, and they own their home. Their goal is to retire at 62, and they would need $95,000 of after-tax income. See, currently, they spend $115,000 of after-tax income, but they know when they retire, they're planning on cutting out some expenses and spending a little less. So when we looked at their plan before the layoff, as you can see, they had a 97% probability of success, and they'd have a little over $3.7 million left when they're 90 years old. Everything was looking great. This is when Harold was on track. Everything was good. He wasn't laid off at this point. But then when he had to take those 2 years and he lost his job and he had to dip into the savings, the question became, what does that mean? Well, he still is able to retire at 62. He's got an 81% probability of success. Now, they're not going to have the $3.7 million left at age 90, but they'll have close to $1.7 million. But the big concern that Harold started wondering is, okay, well, what if we see a market pullback? So right now we're in the midst of some market volatility. So what if the market does pull back? So let's take a look. If the market drops by 20% this year, which is a normal standard bear market, then what happens? Well, that means that Harold went from an 81% probability of success down to a 30% probability of success. This is where some modifications in retirement are going to be necessary. So either they can live off the $80,000 of after-tax income, or they could delay retirement for a few years and get back on track. This is why it is so important to make sure you have a dedicated financial plan that continues to update through market cycles, especially through life events. Because it is nice to know that if we go through just a regular market and it's not a large correction, that retirement is going to be possible at age 62 for Harold and Cheryl. This is something that makes them feel a little bit more confident even going through that tough period. So as you're going through any sort of major update in your life, it is important to make sure you have a financial plan that you're updating, because it's not about the plan for today. Obviously, while he was going through it, they wanted to know, how much money could they actually live off of every single year if he never went back to work. But now they get to reset their life. Harold was able to go back to work, and now it's really about making sure that down the road, they're going to be in a good place. And the only way to do that is continuing to update their financial plan. Because as Mike Tyson once said, a plan is great until you get punched in the mouth. And in times of a job loss, it feels like just that. And that's why we created something to help you understand your own retirement in various scenarios. You see, most retirement calculators, they give you a generic number, but it's not how real retirement planning works. So your retirement isn't just about a big number on a screen. It's about your life, your goals, and your financial situation. That's why we built something a little different. We created a quiz that's quick and it's free to take that will allow our team to put together a personalized snapshot for your retirement. Not just a number, but an actual strategy based on your unique situation. So here's how it works. You just click the link in the description, answer a few simple questions about your income, your savings, and your retirement goals. Our team is going to analyze your responses and craft a custom retirement roadmap tailored just for you. You'll get clear next steps so you know exactly what retirement will look like on your terms. It's fast, it's free, it's built to give you real answers, not just generic guesses. So if you're wondering how much do I actually need to retire, well, click the link and take the quiz and get your personalized analysis as soon as you can. You see, for Harold and Cheryl, they were fortunate they had started saving early and that they had Social Security that would give them a guaranteed income in retirement. And as you plan your retirement, make sure you check out this video that's coming up next, where I cover 9 ways where you could actually lose your Social Security benefit. And I'll see you there.